So I wanted to tell the story that starts actually with my grandmother. When she was 16, she had a very strong call to go overseas and to share with people the love of God. But her parents forbid her to ever leave, for her calling was to only be a mother. And so she went to the backwoods behind the barn and wept, bitterly wept, and saying, God, if you would just give me a son who could go in my place, that would be enough. And 8 years later, she had a boy, her firstborn. And she never told him her vow to God, but she just quietly prayed to see how God would unfold it. Well, when that little boy was 8 years old, he was in a very powerful meeting, and he felt the strong call to go to places that needed to hear the message. And so he excitingly went home, running to his mother and said, Mom, guess what happened to me? I had a vision. I was under a tree and I had a Bible in my hand and my finger pointed in the air. And I was telling people about Jesus. My grandma began to weep, and my dad was confused, thinking, wouldn't she be happy with this news? And she sat him down on the couch and told him the tale of how she dedicated him to God, but wanted the calling to be real from him, not because of something his mother put on him. Well, he's gone to many places, many far-off lands, but when he was 40 years old was when this picture was taken. It was the first time that he was over in Africa. The picture of my grandmother's original calling. I believe this picture's taken in Ethiopia. He's under a tree and he has a Bible in his hand and his fingers pointed in the air. And sometimes the call of God is not instantaneous in terms of you immediately go somewhere. It begins the journey, begins the preparation. And here is this picture fulfilled. And he had a daughter. And I've gone to many lands. And I've been able to share the message with many people. And it's a fulfillment of my grandmother's calling all the way back in 1942. If you hear God calling you today, do not be disheartened, do not lose heart, but start the journey and pursue him with everything that you have, because the Bible says when we abide in him and he abides in us, we bear much fruit. When we try to do things on our own, we don't get very far. So keep the faith. If you hear the call of God on your life, heed it, pursue it. It may take you down incredible career paths. You may find yourself in the deepest, darkest village. You may also find yourself in the corporate world. Every place you can share the love of Christ. Heed his call, be authentic, and fulfill your dreams.